What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead Q&A video for today. This is number 12 now, leading up to the eventual season finale for The Walking Dead, which, I mean, who knows when we're going to get this episode, but I want to answer you guys' Q&A questions for this episode, starting off with, which I think is a really, really interesting question by Jamie Minecraft. Is there maybe a better option for characters leaving, maybe either recasting characters instead of making them, get killed off or leave the show? Maybe does recasting work better? We're going to discuss that, and we're going to talk about should The Walking Dead have recasted Carl, Rick, maybe Jesus, and a few others that wanted to leave the show.
We're not all going to make it through, but this is the only way.
It's too late. Our rendezvous is set in stone.
This journey must be completed. We must try. That's what's gotten us this far, and we'll give it everything we had.
Okay, guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead Q&A video for today. This is number 12 now, leading up to the season finale for The Walking Dead Season 10. Like I said, I mean, honestly, I think I say this every week. Who knows when we're going to get this episode? I feel like at this point we should probably just stop saying it. We're still going to be waiting a while. It seems like, Comic-Con is, even this, at-home Comic-Con, it doesn't even look like they're going to release it then. At least by the looks of it, it looks like they'll probably give a release date. That's it. So, honestly, I don't know. The wait continues. And we're at Q&A 12 leading up to this episode, which is just absolutely crazy. But anyway, I want to discuss, because you guys actually left some really great questions for this week. And if you want to participate in next week's Walking Dead Q&A video, all you got to do, you guys know how it works. You guys write Q&A before your comment and, ask away. And then you will, your question will be answered next Friday in what would be Q&A 13. So, okay, now, this discussion topic, starting off this Q&A, this one comes in from Jamie Minecraft. And he basically mentions how he thinks that maybe it was a better idea potentially, or at least he's asking me, what if they recasted characters? What if Andrew Lincoln, when they found out he wanted to leave, Carl did not want to leave, but of course he, that was, Gimple. Something happened with Gimple and Chandler Riggs, I'm sure, because I just don't feel like they would just kill Carl just like that, I feel like something had to happen behind the scenes with that. And then Jesus, we know Jesus wanted to leave the show as well, and Michonne, I guess, is, another person you can also include in this topic. Do you guys agree with recasting characters? Do you guys agree? Now, okay, I'm going to be honest right now, maybe some people will maybe not understand why. I absolutely hate recasting. There is something about a character in either a movie or a TV show, but especially in a series as good as The Walking Dead. Those actors are the characters. You know what I mean? Like that. I know that doesn't maybe. I'm trying to describe it, but it's hard to, I hope you guys know what I mean when I say that it feels like sometimes the actors that play the characters just are the characters. Their acting is something you can't just replace. You can't just recast it, You either kill them off, make them leave. Those are the only two options I see. Recasting is something that's really bad. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think there's one person that could have been recasted, and it would have worked because of all the time skips we've gotten. And Brian Akeem, a good friend of mine, has mentioned this as well as a few other people as well. Maybe they should have recasted Carl during the time skip because, honestly, Chandler Riggs was getting too old. They were making him look too old for the age he was supposed to be. I think he, I'm 15 going on 16, but I think Chandler Riggs, if you look at the timeline, Carl was, because I believe the timeline was 2 years into the apocalypse when Carl died, and he was supposed to be 10 when he started the show. So are we supposed to assume that Chandler Riggs' Carl in Season 8 was supposed to be 12 or 13? I'm sorry, but he looked older than me, and I'm almost 16, and Chandler Riggs apparently was 12. You're telling me a 12-year-old kid would have that much facial hair in Season 8? I'm just pointing that out. I'm just saying. So, honestly, I feel like during the time skip when Andrew Lincoln left, you could have recasted Carl. You could have had somebody else play the role of Carl. You did not need to kill off Carl, and that's something I continuously say, but you did not need to kill off Carl. But for people like Jesus or Rick or Michonne, no, I'm sorry. You can't recast them. I think that what they did is the best thing, at least when it comes to Rick and Michonne. They just had them leave, so you can still say those characters are out there, they're still alive, but at the same time, for the actors, it's good, because then they don't have to ever, act again in the show if they don't want to. So, even though it's all killing us that we're not seeing, Michonne and more so Rick, because we've been waiting longer to see Rick, obviously, in these movies. But, no, I mean, honestly, I don't think recasting characters, especially Rick, that's the main one that just would not go well, honestly. As a Rick fan, as Rick being my favorite character, if you recasted Rick, I would have a serious problem with that. And plus, I just don't think that Andrew... You can't tell me that an actor is better than Andrew Lincoln to play Rick Grimes. There is nobody else I can picture playing Rick Grimes at this point. Honestly, Andrew Lincoln is the best pick for a character from the comic that they did to the show. Honestly, Michonne was a good casting from the comic to show as well. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is pretty different from the comic Negan, but Andrew Lincoln's Rick is such an improvement, in my opinion, from the comic Rick. It's not even funny. And characters like that, and like Michonne, I just don't think you can recast those characters. And Jesus, too. You know, characters like this, I just don't think you can recast. But I want to hear your opinions about that in the comment section below. Great question from Jamie Minecraft. Next question comes from Brian Akeem, who says, this is a great question as well. What would you do if I could go back in time and fix Survival Instinct, which is the Daryl and Merle game that was released a while back, really long time ago now. So this question from Brian Akeem. Honestly, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I feel like Survival Instinct is a game that just really shouldn't have been made at all, honestly. And that's the one thing I would have done. I don't think I would have let that game be released if I was responsible for it. If I looked over this game and I made the call of whether or not to release this or not, I wouldn't release it. Because, listen, I want to specify something. And I feel like maybe some people may forget this because I haven't said this yet. I love Daryl and Merle as characters. Okay, let's make that clear. They are amazing characters. It is not their fault why this game is so terrible. It's just that I feel like there are so many mistakes, it shouldn't have even been done. And honestly, can I please also add, it doesn't do much for the story. Okay, that's the other thing I gotta add. It doesn't do much for the story. Plus, at the same time, I feel like all this... They didn't do anything additional with Daryl and Merle that we haven't really ever known before. And I don't know, there were really a lot of problems with it. I could go into more detail, but I won't bore you with the details. I just wouldn't release it. I just don't think that it's... And plus, Daryl's outfit is something else that really just bothers me. It's supposed to be before Season 1, but it makes him look like Season 3 Daryl, which is really weird to me. I just don't understand that. I'll never understand why they made Daryl look like that. Just the look of Daryl, it really looks weird. And there's many other problems, but I just wouldn't release it, honestly. I think it's something that, avoid the hate, honestly. Avoid the fans hating it. Avoid all that stuff and just never release it. Listen, I know maybe they wanted to make money and they know that if they release a Daryl game, they will make a lot of money, but I feel like they only did it for the money because the quality of the game isn't that good. It's just, I don't know, that's my personal opinion. But yeah, I just wouldn't make it. Or I wouldn't release it is really all I'm saying. I don't care if it's Daryl and you want to make money. You know, don't make your Walking Dead universe look bad from this game, honestly. We already have Fear, let alone to make the Walking Dead universe look bad. Don't do this, honestly. That's all I gotta say for that. So yeah, but great question by Brian Akeem, I have to say. I wouldn't release it. I think it's a game that just shouldn't have been made. So yeah, great question, man. Next question also comes from Brian Akeem, who says, and I love this question as well, which one, so he basically gives me two options. Either stay and hide like the Oceanside people, or recruit people like the Fear the Walking Dead people do in Season 5. Honestly, staying hidden like Oceanside is a safer option, I'm just gonna say, because in Fear the Walking Dead in Season 5, and they explore this a lot in Fear Season 5, and I actually think this is one of the only things I actually like about Fear Season 5, is that they take it in a realistic way, and just hold on, because I know I'm complimenting Fear. Wow, Dan's complimenting Fear. Just hear me out. I honestly think that Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, I really love how they did specifically in the first half of the season, how they had the characters, they're finding these people, this and that, but they're also taking a realistic side of things where it's like, not everybody's gonna be good. They're not just gonna find all these good people. There could be a guy like Logan that completely tricks you. You're not gonna find everybody, perfectly bring them back to your community, and they will be a perfect survivor for your group, and they will help you find other people and continue. It's not gonna happen. You'd run into people like Logan. You'd run into these stupid kids. You'd run into people, well, the kids are a little unrealistic. I'll admit to that. How on earth they managed to do all these walker traps is beyond me, but that's besides the point. It's still realistic that there'd be people and, that type of thing, and also that they wouldn't find many people right away because it's so long into the apocalypse that, they wouldn't have a whole lot of luck, as Morgan would say. I like that aspect, but I'm gonna have to say, as long as you have everything you need, as long as you're with the people you love and the people you care about, hide like Oceanside. What's the problem with that? And if anybody comes for you, defend yourself, sure. That's the only thing I disagree with Oceanside. If somebody comes at you, you got to get rid of the threat. You got to get rid of the problem, you know, instead of just trying to stay hidden, you know. So I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I think Oceanside is a better way of living. Fear it's very risky what they're doing. It doesn't get them very far. And by the end of season 5, I mean, they're all taken against their will because, you know, they thought that they could, you know, change Virginia's mind as well, too, and they didn't want to try to put up a fight. It's really ridiculous, but that's Fear the Walking Dead for you. But, just saying, I think I'd rather live like Oceanside. I think it's the safer option. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Great question. And the final question for today comes from Jamie Minecraft as well, who says, do you think that maybe Alpha could have lived longer? And he discussed basically, you know, do you think it was the right time or she could have gone on longer? So for Jamie Minecraft, honestly, I hate to say this because I absolutely love Samantha Morton. I just think her acting is just, it's on point all the time. You can't say it's not. There's not one scene that Samantha Morton has done in The Walking Dead that is not just absolutely amazingly done and just phenomenal. But as much as I love her character and I wish there was some kind of way for her to survive longer, it was time. I will admit to that, and I'm going to say I think it was time for Negan to kill Alpha. I think it was. I think maybe I don't think they waited too long. There's a lot of fans that wanted to see the Alpha death in the mid-season finale season 10, and that's why a lot of people were disappointed with the mid-season finale this year, season 10, but I disagree. I personally think that Alpha dying in episode 12 is a good time. It's not too long, because I feel like if she survived till the finale, then maybe I'd say, okay, she survived too long. But at the same time, and just think of that, we would have had to wait all this time for Alpha's death if it was in the season 10 finale. Just think of that. Just think that if they waited till the season 10 finale, and we know this whole time that, like, coming up in the finale, Negan's gonna kill Alpha, and we have to wait all these months, that would have been torture. That would have been terrible. That would have been worse than what we're actually going into. But again, seeing a sneak peek of Maggie returning in the finale is cruel enough as it is, and we just can't see it. So, you know, I guess there's you know, I mean, either way you look at it, it's just cruel how the whole situation has worked out with the episode being delayed. But just imagine if she died in the finale. That'd be insane. But no, I love Samantha. I think she's amazing, but I think it was the right time, right moment. Everything was just perfect. And adding in Carol as the one that made Negan do it, I love that. You know, took you long enough, the music, all that stuff. I love that scene. I think it's amazing. And if anything, it was even better than the comic version. But that's actually a question I have for you guys as well. Do you guys think Negan killing Alpha was better in the comic or in the TV show? Maybe we can even do a video on that. Which one we think is better? You know, the TV show version of Alpha's death or the comic? Because I don't think I did that video. I'm going to have to check back in my videos, but I don't think I ever made that video before. So, and it's kind of weird. I feel like I feel like I should have done that, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I'll have to check. But anyway, great questions from today's Walking Dead Q&A, guys. I really appreciate all your guys' Q&A questions. If you want to participate in the next Walking Dead Q&A video, you guys know what to do. Write Q&A before your comment, and of course, I will answer in the next video. Of course, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And of course, if you're new here, guys, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys, and I'll see you guys really soon for some more Walking Dead videos. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?